Geekazoid.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Geekazoid. This is exciting. We thank you so much for joining us. And if you are joining us, make sure you join the conversation because we are live. And because we're live, we're streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on YouTube, and also Twitch as well. So get those comments in because we would love to share them on the stream. And we actually have a couple of people tuning in right now, like Little Weird Guy yelling at the screen like Homer saying, "Come on and start the movie." But I am not by myself. I am joined by two of your faves on Geekazoid. Please welcome, we have Taylor and Captain Fizzman Anthony. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Geekazoid for another week. Before we get into everything, and I want to know how your week has been, I just got to let you know, I'm not sure if this is happening where you are in Australia, but this week is Book Week, and I'm sure you guys know what Book Week is as well. It's where I think it's primary schools, they dress up in I guess characters from books or whatever. And I teach at a school, and I teach dance at a school, and it's tomorrow, and I'm gonna dress up. And Captain Fizzman, you're gonna be very, very happy. I think I'm gonna be dressing up as Captain America. You thought I was gonna say Captain Fizzman, but it's gonna be Captain America. So that's what I'm really excited for this week. But Tay, tell me. Wait. I'm gonna throw it over to Tay first, okay? So Tay, tell me, how's your week going?
Very good. I did know Book Week was on. My little nieces, they had Book Week, so they actually chose Harry Potter. So Fizzman, you'll be very proud of that. Actually, for all 3 days in a row, my niece chose Harry Potter characters, and she actually came over today to borrow an orange wig because she wanted to look like Ron. So she needed bright orange hair like Ron. So I just helped her pick out an outfit, and she's got the robes on and everything. She was very excited.
Oh, that's epic. We got Banshee B chiming in as well. She's saying so many kids coming into the comic store buying comics to match their costumes today. And that's when I was like, like I could have dressed up as Woody or whoever else, but comic book, Captain America, that makes sense. Great segue. Captain Fizzman, how's your week been, buddy?
My week's been good. Apart from the usual work, I've just been very excited by all the news that we've been getting from Gamescom and just all the nerdy news, and yeah, just having a really great time.
That's right. Gamescom has did it start yesterday or is it today?
It started Wednesday at 4 a.m. our time.
Wow.
Which was 11 a.m. Pacific time.
So pretty much, yeah, and pretty much, and over the weekend, I guess we're going to find out all the massive drops that are happening in terms of the gaming world. So make sure you tune in next week to Geekazoid, the live stream, or the podcast version as well. If you just want to listen to the audio version, we are on Spotify and also Apple Podcasts as well. And if you miss the live stream, you can always rewatch it, video on demand, across YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. Thank you to everyone chiming in. We got Abdullah, he's a regular here. He says, hey. We got Tao chimes in, says, hello. And Sammy G before was saying that he was second on the stream, and we appreciate your support. We have a great show. You were first, and you were to check the YouTube.
Just putting that out there. But I mean, also Gamescom isn't the only thing that happened this week. We also had the release of the first episode of House of the Dragon, which J-Rod and I attended the premiere in Sydney last week. But that has now officially dropped on Binge, so you can go check that out. And we have a whole bunch of other news that we're about to discuss in Trending Topics.
Okay, speaking about that, how about we get into a segment that we like to call Trending Topics? Okay, so this is you're going to kick off the trending topics for us today because you were very excited about a little sneak teaser, could you
I
call it, that we
was.
saw. Speaking of House of the
Mm,
Dragon, I think it played around the same time, right? So take it away, Tay. Tell us, what are we
it
looking at
did.
here?
Yes, so HBO finally gave us our first little teaser for the upcoming Last of Us TV series. So, if you're not familiar, The Last of Us is a game from Naughty Dog Games, and they are now making it into a TV series, which will be airing early 2023. We don't have an exact date just yet, but we got our first trailer here. It's a nice short one, but it's very exciting. Of course, we have Pedro Pascal here as Joel and his sidekick Ellie there, who's also from Game of Thrones. If anyone spotted that, we've got Lyanna Mormont. So she's in that. So I'm really excited. I think she's a perfect actress for the part. I really love how into it she gets, in, especially when we saw her as Lyanna. She was, for a young kid, she was very, very strong. Obviously, took over a room full of men. So,
Yeah.
got to give her props for that. They just finished filming in Canada, I believe. So, that's
Oh.
all done. So, now they're all ready to go. But they told us that it wouldn't be, because there were rumors that it was going to be aired in late 2022, maybe December. But when this teaser came out, they said that it'll be airing early 2023. I know that the actress there who plays Ellie, her name's Bella, she said that it's going to be a different storyline from the game. So they're still going to recreate some famous scenes that we know from the games, but it's going to be a different story. And even the co-creator, Craig Mazin, he said that it's going to include a moment that isn't in the game, but it's going to make our jaws drop, and apparently we'll be talking about it for a long time. So I'm excited to see what this big moment is, because obviously we've got some high expectations with what we've been getting recently, especially with HBO and with House of the Dragon. I've got high expectations for it, so I'm very excited.
Fizzman, is this something that you're looking forward to? Have you ever played the game? Have you played The Last of Us before?
I have not played Last of Us before, mainly because it is on consoles that I do not have yet.
Sorry, that's a touchy subject. He's an Xbox loyalist. Sorry about that.
But I am familiar that I know that Elliot Page voiced what's the protagonist's name? I know we were literally just talking about it. Shows my active list. Ellie. So Elliot Page voiced Ellie, which was a really cool thing. And I love when video game designers, they design their characters around the voice actors, because it really adds more realism to the game.
And
as
they
well.
use well-known, actors and actresses as well to play to make the characters come to life as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Just going to say, we got Banshee B saying she's so keen for this. Abdullah says, very excited for the Last of Us series. I'm so hyped. I finished game part 1 and part 2. I actually haven't played part 2 yet, and I'm going to have to get into it. I'm surprised it hasn't really been spoilt for me yet, but I better not put it out into the world. So, yeah, and then also Banshee B.
Just gonna chime in there. Did anyone notice Nick Offerman there?
Yes.
He's going to be playing Bill. Now, I'm a big fan of Nick Offerman, especially in Parks and Recreation. He's playing a character named Bill who was actually originally cast by a different actor, and it was like a scheduling conflict. So they actually changed it, and Nick Offerman was offered the role, which I'm very happy about, considering I didn't know who the previous actor was, but I'm really happy that we got him.
There you go. There we go. I picked up the screenshot there, and I didn't recognize that it was him at first when I saw this. It wasn't until I guess it did a couple of rounds online, and then people were calling him out, and I was like, "Wow, I did not notice that." Also, Banshee Beach chimed in here. No, it was Ashley Johnson in the games, not
shows
Elliot.
how much I know about the game.
That's all right. That's okay. I think everyone was fan casting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Elliot to play.
Yeah.
And then also Abdullah also says part 2 is very emotional. I'm going to get into it. I will. Do you know how many games I've got on backlog, guys? It's not even funny. Like, I've really got to start getting out, like, spending some time to play video games. Speaking of video games, PlayStation over Gamescom, they spoke a little bit more about the PSVR 2 and also the DualSense Edge controller. But let's just talk about the VR 2. They're saying that it's coming early next year, which is really exciting. They had a press conference a couple of, I think it was last night they may have had it, or maybe the day before. But they were just giving you a little bit more of an overview of what's happening with the PSVR 2. Really excited for that. I absolutely love my PlayStation VR. It's set up on the side of my station here, so I love that. I always go out and try and find games that are compatible, that support it. They're really hard to find, but for some reason, EB Games, they have like international games sometimes in their bins, and I was just like, yep, I'll grab that. I haven't seen that before, and yeah, really, really excited for some new VR content to come out on PlayStation. And then the other thing that I mentioned before as well, there's a new DualSense Edge controller, which I guess this is the Pro Elite controller. I think Xbox had, is it called the Elite controller, where you could change out the toggles and stuff like that? So this is the PS5 equivalent of that, which looks unreal. You can see there. Good. Yeah, I guess all the stuff that you can interchange, which is crazy. Still the same design, looks different as well. Well, does it look different? What is different? I guess the keys, the buttons on it are a different color, right? Is that right, Taylor?
Yeah, they've got more black on the bottom half of it, where the little, I think it's like the little extra toggles are. Yes, and it's got the back keys as well, back buttons.
The extra toggles on the back there. Yeah. So there you go. There's the
back there.
There's the footage. I'm using my mouse as if you could see it, but you can't.
I pointed. I was like, that one.
Let us know, guys, if you are into VR gaming, and if you do have a PS5, if this is something you're interested in. Tay, have you delved in the PSVR sort of realm before?
I have. So I got one a couple of years ago, and it's one of those things I put away and then I come back and I use it for like 6 days in a row, and I'm just constantly, my favorite's Beat Saber. I kind of class that as my exercise. So I'll download a new song on Beat Saber. I'll give that a good 3 hours, maybe sometimes. And then I'll put it away. So I kind of think I want to get the new VR as well, because I don't want to miss out on all the new stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, as you can see there, the controllers are different to the Move controllers that we saw before with the last PlayStation VR. And then also, I think this headset is meant to be 4K. And there's all this like extra stuff that they've delved into as well. If you guys want to know more, definitely check out that the conference that they had. It's up on the PlayStation. I guess every socials that you go on PlayStation, it will be there. So definitely check that out. Fizzman, are you a fan of VR, or does it sort of, play tricks on you and you get a little bit dizzy?
No, I actually really enjoy playing VR. It is definitely something I do want to get more into. So I might consider getting a PlayStation 5 for it. Who knows?
Oh, that's a big call.
This is recording, thank God.
Yes.
We've got this.
Well, you know what? Even Dion and Tay and myself, we got the PlayStation 5, and Fizzman isn't. I guess that's good for if we.
I'm not an Xbox elitist, okay? It's just I like to use consoles to their full capacity before I get a new one. I've got a PlayStation 3.
There you go. Good for you, and you've also got a Switch as well. So
I'm not purely just on Xbox. Like, I'm on all different types of consoles, just different versions.
Oh, that's good.
I've got both, so.
Yeah. Oh wait, you got both Xbox and PlayStation 5, do you?
Yeah, I didn't want to pick a side. I'm same as Star Wars as well. I'm gonna drop it in again. I can't pick light or dark side. Can't do it.
Back in the day, Grey Jedi? Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, sure.
I move around a lot.
You dabble on both sides. Back in the day, I always used to go for I'll get both consoles and all that. But these days, it's like I struggle actually to play a console. So, but I will definitely be looking at getting the PlayStation VR, because I had that thing set up all the time. I had my grandfather. I remember on Christmas Day, my grandfather, who I think was 90 at the time. We tried it. We did the underwater and all that sort of stuff. He loved it. Yeah, so excited for some new games.
Is that underwater game? Is that the one where you have to go deep sea diving and there's a shark that? Yeah, I played that and I hated it so much. There's actually a video on the internet floating around where I'm basically shitting. Yeah, of me on the PlayStation VR, absolutely shitting myself because there's a shark about to attack me. Which, if you didn't
Oh,
know, I have a very irrational fear that there's going to be a shark in a swimming pool somehow, and it's going to eat me alive. And so that's why I don't really attend the beach or swimming pool.
how funny. Yeah,
Because
so it
of
was that
that.
one. So you actually didn't have to play it. You just had to be, in it and you just look around and it's full 360, I guess. This is for people that I believe Little Weird Guy is in the Melbourne area. He's just chimed in and says, my local EB had PS5s. Oh, in stock. They had PS5s in stock last weekend due to people not picking up their pre orders. Oh, my goodness. I mean, times are getting tough. The cost of living is going up, so I guess you got to do what you got to do. But speaking of gaming and a game in particular that I feel like we haven't heard enough about, this is where Captain Fizzman chimes in and it helps us out because I haven't heard of Hogwarts Legacy. No, clearly I'm joking, but Captain Fizzman, take it away, buddy. This is something that you said, J-Rod, I need like 15 minutes to talk about this. So this is all yours, buddy. Take it away.
Before we do that, I just want to know, Jay and Tay, what are your Hogwarts houses?
I'm Gryffindor. So when I went on my first trip to America, went to this Harry Potter exhibition, and I got sorted by the Sorting Hat. So Gryffindor. Don't think it's quite accurate based on my personality, but I'm going with it. I'm rolling with
Okay,
it.
but what house do you think you are, based on your personality?
I'd probably be a Hufflepuff, I reckon.
Jay?
Yeah, look, I always said that I was a Gryffindor when I was, obviously watching Harry Potter for obvious reasons because the main characters are part of Gryffindor. But then when I did the quiz online, it said that I was Hufflepuff. So I was like, great, that means I need to buy a new scarf, a new robe, a new tie. I was just like, this thing just wants to, squeeze the money out of me. But I say Hufflepuff. I've got the scarf and all that. I need to actually get a robe for Hufflepuff, but am I allowed to flip flop? Am I allowed to be on
No,
both
you're
sides,
allowed
both
to.
teams?
It's totally up to you. Like,
Okay.
I
Is
think I'm all four houses
Oh,
because
there you
there's like
go.
different qualities, but
Is that something in
primarily
the game that
Gryffindor.
you can do, or you
No,
once you're
it's
sorted?
I think you can create multiple characters because, and I'll talk about this as we go in.
Okay, well, how about
Okay.
we deep dive into it
Yeah,
right
have
now?
it.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Okay.
I'll just set you up. Okay, just in case you've never been tuned into Geekazoid before and never met Captain Fizzman, he is a massive Harry Potter fan and he knows absolutely everything about Harry Potter, even more than the creator, J.K. Rowling herself. So, Fizzman, there it is. It is yours. Tell us what is happening in the world of Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay, so Slytherin fans rejoice. There is a character in Hogwarts Legacy named Sebastian Sallow. And with that is that our protagonist will have the chance to befriend them, and through it we're going to be looking at their family legacy, so who their family was. It is potentially a side quest, or it could be part of the main quest. Totally up to you, depending on how you decide. But not only did we find that out, we also found out that we're going to be exploring Salazar Slytherin and hopefully many other founders. But in this trailer, we definitely get a big focus on the dark arts. We see the unforgivable curses. So this is actually the first spell. Well, not the first spell, but like one of the main spells that we're very much accustomed to in the canon of the Harry Potter universe in the game itself. So it is being very true to the law of the Wizarding World. We also see the use of dark magic and temptation. So it's questioning whether a spell could save your life and whether it should be forbidden or not. It's very similar to, as a bit of a call out for Star Wars, Anakin Skywalker and his introduction to the dark side and choosing, is the dark side really that bad if it could help save a life? We also see spiders and a person being mummified in a web, and it's very much it's very dark to what we've seen before, which is a huge contrast. We also see more spells in action, up close and dueling. We also see some skeletons, but they're more like Infurious and giants and trolls in action. And finally, we see a Thestral, and standing next to it is the character wearing a cosmetic or costume pack, which is what we will be getting in the deluxe and collector's editions of the game.
Wow, Fizzman, that was a great wrap up, buddy.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me just bring
Well,
Tay
we
into the
can
stream
talk
because
about
I'm sure
this.
she'll
Yeah.
go for it. Talk about this. I'm going to be up on the screen as well. Everybody else, make sure you listen up. He's got about 3 more minutes on this. Go, buddy. Go.
So at 11 a.m. today, pre-orders were available at EB Games to either pre-order the deluxe or collector's edition. About a couple of hours ago, EB Games updated their Facebook saying that both the PlayStation and PC collector's editions of pre-orders were completely sold out.
Wow.
And they had a limit of 1 per customer. So you had a choice between the deluxe edition and the collector's edition. Deluxe edition is going for about $119.95 or $120 AUD, and it was a $30 deposit. And in it, you get the Dark Arts pack, which includes a Thestral mount, cosmetic set, and a battle arena. Also, an Onyx Hippogriff mount, a Dark Arts Garrison hat, and 72 hours early access. With the mounts in particular, these are the only ways you'll be able to ride either a Thestral or a Hippogriff. With the collector's edition, however, it is $499.95 AUD or $500 with a $50 deposit. You can bet I already pre-ordered mine. And you get everything from the deluxe edition plus a physical life-sizing Ancient Magic Wand on a book base. And the way it works is that you plug it in and it actually hovers using magnets. You also get a steel case for the game. And as a bonus, you get an in-game Kelpie robe. And you also get everything else in the deluxe edition.
Wow.
That
is that it, Fizzman?
That is everything.
Do you know what's funny? I preloaded this a long time ago, but I can finally use it.
5 minutes later.
I can finally use that.
He's been waiting there the whole time. It's just been
I've
sitting
been-
on the side of his screen ready to use.
But even Tay, when we were testing the stream, I had it. I'm like, I'm going to use this one day, and then when Fizzman was like, I'm going to say it all. But no, that's unreal. And to be honest, like, it looks unreal. The game, whatever, like what they released, it looks sensational. Sarah seems to be excited. Sarah's chiming in on Facebook. She's got like a crying face. I'm assuming that's because of the 5 minutes later thing. And a little weird guy said, yes, Slytherin pride. How exciting. So Tay, when you start this game, would you start off as a Gryffindor, or is there a way to, like, do they have a quiz at the beginning of the game that you take so it helps try and sort you into the right house? Fizzman, do you know that?
I'm pretty sure it is very much by choice, but also they may do like a battle arena where you make different choices and that decides what your house is. Very similar to like a morality thing in like Infamous, where like depending on the decisions you make really determines like what your morality is. Like if it's like darker or lighter, and it really changes your magical abilities. Hopefully, I mean,
Tay,
yeah.
What house would you, straight away off the bat, boom, what would you be?
I'd probably just go with Gryffindor, most likely, because I'm hoping that when I went and got sorted, I'm just riding on that. That's the truth. So
I'll sort you on Tuesday.
okay, perfect.
Oh,
You'll give me the official. I feel like that's more official than any other quiz I could take. Is you will crown me what house I will in. You'll sort me.
Fizzman is the
Deal.
algorithm. He's the one. He's the sorting hat.
He is the sorting hat.
It doesn't matter what house you're in, right? Like, it doesn't determine the gameplay. It's like, say if I was to go in Hufflepuff or Gryffindor, the gameplay is going to be the same. My attributes are going to be the same as well, or does that differ?
I guess it'll be depending on how you create your character. But it will be depending, I guess choices will come into play. Like if you choose to go down the route of the dark arts, then you start becoming a bit more leading towards that side. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And also to everyone that is tuning in live, let us know in the comments below, what house would you be sorted in? What house are you going to be playing Hogwarts Legacy in? It looks like it's all around Gryffindor, which is pretty cool. Are we okay to leave it there, Fizzman? Even though I'm really excited.
That's totally fine.
I haven't pre-ordered it yet. The collector's edition looks amazing. Like that. Let me get it back up on the screen. The floating wand, that is something that you would definitely want to hang up, because I know, or display, because I know sometimes with the collector sets, you get some trinkets and stuff like that. But that's really, really cool. Like it doesn't look like it belongs to a game. Like you could have it out and it just looks like some magic happening. And that's what I really like about it as well. So I hope it looks like a realistic book and it's not just like a bit of plastic, let's call it. But no, how exciting. Let us know if you're going to be pre-ordering or if you've already pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy in the chat. Now, the last thing that we're going to be talking about, this news dropped today, did it, Fizzman? This is the news about Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2 have been delayed again.
Yeah.
So the last that we spoke about this, Tay, I think we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, or maybe Fizzman, you might have been on the pod as well. For
No,
this,
it was the test episode.
So I think it was just maybe Dion and myself maybe were talking about this. We were talking about the state of DC.
No, Tay was there.
Oh, Captain Fizzman. He's the quiz master. You cannot get past him at all.
I feel like I could ask him where my keys are. I could just send him a message from Melbourne to Sydney. Hey, Fizzman, do you know where my keys are?
You probably could, to be quite honest. But it was funny because Fizzman, we were talking about this before because you dropped it in our little Discord that we have. And I was like, oh, yeah, I saw that they announced Christmas. And I'm like, that's not that much of a delay. It's because I think the movie was meant to come out on December 14th. And I'm like, Christmas Day, yeah, that's about a week off. That's fine. Like, that's no big deal. But then when I read it again and I saw Christmas 2023, I was like, whoa. Okay. Is this something that you've heard, Taylor? Have you read up on this yet, or is this like something that's quite new and you got to look into it a bit more?
I only just saw the headlines that they were delayed. I haven't actually delved into why or if we even know yet. So I am all ears if you guys can explain or catch me up to date, because this is really sad. I was really looking forward to it.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, Fizzman, but I think it's something to do with the reshoots that they have. Amber Heard stuff, I guess. Also, maybe the stuff going on with the Flash. Apparently, Michael Keaton's Batman was meant to be at the end of Aquaman or somewhere in Aquaman as well. So, if they've delayed it a whole year, there's some serious reshoots going. And fair enough, like they can't do that between now and the end of the year. I get it.
So, the reason why it's being delayed is because of the Warner Bros. Discovery. Everything that's happening with Discovery and HBO Max and everything. That is why they've delayed it. So,
I mean, but if they are going to restart, and not that I want to turn this whole episode into, another state of DC, but you would think that they would just want to get these movies out if they're thinking about rebooting the whole DC universe on the big screen. We also haven't heard what's happening with the Flash yet. That's still up in the air, and I'm assuming if Aquaman and Shazam are being delayed, the Flash hasn't got really an official release date properly yet, and that's probably going to be pushed as well. Black Adam seems to be going ahead as well, which is great to see.
Yeah. In more DC news that I'm adding to it, the Batgirl, so the cast and crew are actually getting a screening of Batgirl before they officially put it to
rest.
Huh?
Did we talk about this before, that they asked Leslie Grace, who's playing Batgirl?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. They asked her to come back, and she
was
declined, which fair enough. I get it. It's so sad. And then you know what else I thought about this week? Brendan Fraser was meant to be the villain in Batgirl, and we're not going to see him.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, that's right.
We can just watch Doom Patrol.
I can't even remember what character he was playing in Batgirl. If you guys know, definitely check it out. Let's see if you guys can be quicker than Captain Fizzman on this one. But but it's just such a sad state going on, and DC fandom, I'm assuming it's not going to happen either.
Firefly.
Thank you very much. So the real DC movies, the only DC movies that we're getting this year is DC League of Super Pets and also Black Adam. And Black Adam, the ending's meant to be different as well. So we shall see, my child. We shall see. But there we go. Here we go. Tao is Robot Man in Doom Patrol. That's right. Brendan Fraser is that. But Firefly, he was meant to play in Batgirl. We're going to end it up there, guys, with the news. We've managed to do it in half an hour, which is fantastic. We're going to take a quick break, a little bit of an intermission, and we're going to throw it over to Captain Fizzman's variant, who's going to help us out with this week's trivia. Take it away, Captain Fizzman.
Geekazoid.
What is up, everyone? It is Captain Fizzman here, ready to deliver you this week's trivia. So, today's trivia is based around video games. So, get those thinking caps on because it is time to start this week's trivia. Okay, question 1. Who came first? Mario or Sonic? Once again, question 1. Who came first? Mario or Sonic? Do you think you know it? Okay, moving on to question 2. What is the name of the best-selling video game? Once again, what is the name of the best-selling video game? And then finally, question 3. In the most recent gameplay trailer of Hogwarts Legacy, which of the 3 unforgivable curses do we see shown? Once again, in the most recent gameplay trailer of Hogwarts Legacy, which of the 3 unforgivable curses do we see shown? Write down those answers, let us know in the comments what you think they are, and I will see you very soon for the answers.
Geekazoid.
If you guys know the answers, definitely let us know in the comments below. And also a big thank you to Captain Fizzman's Variant for helping us out every week with the trivia questions. You're going to be seeing on Instagram and also happening on YouTube and TikTok very soon on the Geekazoid accounts. We're going to be uploading all the trivia questions so you can play along there if you miss a live episode. I can see you guys chiming in the comments with the with your answers to the questions. That's great. I'm going to share them just a little bit later just to give everybody else a little bit of time to catch up. Tay, how did you go? Without revealing the answers, is there any of them that you know?
I'm pretty sure I've got the first and the third one. The middle one has stumped me though. I've got like 5 choices going in my head and I just can't pick. So I kind of started writing it and I've left it blank. But
how about you, Captain Fizzman? Do you know? Oh no, you know what? We're not going to ask.
You know how many? I filmed that video so many times with like not enough energy. Let's refilm it again. And then I like had so many different outros being like, "Oh, back to my variant in studio." I was gonna do stuff, and I'm
You might have to clone yourself and get 2 of you there to be like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Like a real like Spider-Man moment. But we're gonna be recording your trivia questions. It's not going to be next week's trivia questions. It's going to be the week after that. But we're going to be recording that together, and Tay's going to be there as well. But we're not going to be talking about it just yet because we'll find out when we find out, probably next week. Anyway, today's topic or talking discussion, whatever you want to call it. We put the question out there on our socials, on Instagram in particular. We wanted to know what was the most underrated movie in your opinion. So we have our underrated movies, what we think deserves a lot more praise than it is getting online or out there in the world. And you guys chimed in as well. So I will definitely jump onto Instagram very soon and I'm going to share a couple of them. But Tay's going to kick this one off and share what she thinks is the most underrated movie in her opinion. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot, and we were throwing out a lot out there, but we thought, you know what, this one deserves a special mention. So, Tay, kick it away. What is your most underrated movie?
So this one was very hard for me to pick. I think I gave Jaden like 4 choices because I couldn't make a decision, which seems to be very on point for me, not making up my mind. But I chose Anastasia, being the animated version of it. So if I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with it. I feel like a lot of people that I know grew up with it, coming out in 1997. It was actually 1998 that it came out in Australia, so we got it a little bit later on. But this is my comfort movie. I can watch this to the day I die. I absolutely love it. For anyone who hasn't seen it or doesn't really know, Anastasia, based on the Romanov family in Russia, who her father was Nicholas, who was a Tsar. And it's about Rasputin. Now, in this animated version, Rasputin is like a sorcerer. He sells his soul because he wants to see an end to the Romanov line. This is a musical number. And recently, this was created actually by 20th Century Fox Studios, but a while ago was bought by Disney, so it is now on Disney Plus, which I always thought Anastasia deserved to be a Disney princess. I sing these songs kind of on the daily, the most popular being Once Upon a December. So it's all based on the lost princess Anastasia. Now, it's really, there's no truth behind this story. It's just very, very loosely based off of it. Obviously, Rasputin was not a sorcerer and did not sell his soul, but he did betray, in real life, he did betray the family. He was like I think he was like an advisor of something to Nicholas, I'm pretty sure. But there's some really well-known actors in this. Anastasia is played by Meg Ryan, and we've got John Cusack as Dimitri. And their storyline is really nice. That it turns out that, you know, he was a very young boy who helped the princess get out of the palace. She doesn't remember who she is or where she came from. And they start a ruse to kind of show people that she could have been this lost princess Anastasia, and in doing so she realizes her past and who her family is. And I do remember when this came out, I was very young, and these parts that had Rasputin in it, I used to fast forward, or I used to get my mum to fast forward them because it was a little bit scary for me at that time. But now the musical number is top notch. And one point that actually I remembered, it popped in my head as I started finding photos and looking at all of this for this trending topic. And it was only in 2007 that archaeologists actually discovered the bones of two of the children, who, that's how kind of rumors and the stories kind of arised that Anastasia got out of the palace. That was debunked because she never left, like she never got out, but it was actually two of her siblings, Maria and Alexei, who Alexei was the heir to the throne. He was going to take after Nicholas. And yeah, they ended up not finding out until 2007 that some remains that they found actually belonged to them. So over 100-year mystery was solved. And it was only back in 2007. So I thought that was a cool fun fact.
That is very cool. You know what? Like I think I watched this movie back in 1998, and I don't think I've seen it since, and I'm gonna have to. It's on Disney Plus, right? Like that makes sense.
It is now, yeah.
I remember owning it on VHS because my sister loved this movie, but I never really took to it. I don't know why. Maybe because the front cover didn't say Disney on it, maybe. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know how stupid that is, but as a kid, I was just like, this Disney, rip-off. But now we understand, like, how... And I obviously have read amazing things about it online and people praising it and all that. And, Tay, when you mentioned it in the chat that we have on Discord, Fizzman freaked out, and of course it's a classic. I remember when this was in production and they were showing, like, to promote the movie, they were showing animation that wasn't even colored yet. Like, it was just all like, you know, just sketches and all that, and it just looked unreal. And it's interesting to, like, is she considered a Disney princess, or is she still outside a little bit?
So she's still on the outside. She's not going to be at the parks anytime soon. That's kind of how they give like a coronation, like an actual coronation into being a Disney princess. She's now owned by Disney, so she is now classed as a Disney princess, but she won't be kind of put into the mix of like being at meet and greets and in the parks and things like that. But she is technically a Disney princess now.
Well, I'm excited for the coronation day. We have a little weird guy chiming in saying that Anastasia is a Disney movie. That is not a Disney movie. And also, Sarah says such a great soundtrack too. Does it have killer songs? I can't really remember any of the songs.
They're so good.
Yeah?
You're missing out.
I sing them daily. Like, everyone I know will only know the songs because I just sing them all the time. It's very annoying. I definitely admit that I'm not the most fun to be around because it's just constantly going in my head on repeat. It's that good.
There you go.
Don't worry,
Captain
we can
Fizzman.
some next week.
I know that you are keen to chat about this, Captain Fizzman, so go for it. Tell me, Anastasia, thoughts?
Anastasia just has a place in my heart. It is absolutely one of my favorite movies. It is up there. I just absolutely love it. Like, Bartok, comedic, genius, so good. There's actually Tay, there's a creator on TikTok who does the Bartok voice, and I freaking die every time I see it. It is honestly my favorite thing ever, and I just love it because like not only the animation but also the history behind it, and also how it connects to like real life events and everything, and just yeah, like I'm highly considering doing a Dimitri cosplay very soon.
Please, I've got my Anastasia cosplay. That's perfect. Let's set that up.
Yes.
Actually, I wanted to mention, because you mentioned Bartok. Did you ever watch the solo movie he got, Bartok?
It's
remember what it's
coming
called
to
now.
mind.
And-
I would have watched it like back like when I was a kid, but yeah,
It definitely took me a
does.
few years to catch up to it, because I was like, well, no, there's Anastasia, like it can't continue. And obviously Rasputin at that time when it first came out, I was scared of. So I was like, I don't want to watch a movie that's based on him, but it's all about Bartok, and he gets a little bat girlfriend, which is very cute, because
Oh,
if
that's
anyone
cute.
doesn't know, Bartok is a little albino bat.
Yes.
Yes,
It's
a
funny 'cause
sidekick to
I-
Rasputin.
I always thought that he was in Fern Gully, but I must be thinking of a different character.
They're
But
very,
it's
very
the
similar
same-
looking.
Yeah, very similar.
They're both bats.
right. And then also, I think Land Before Time was also out as well. And I
Love
can't
that
remember the
one.
little pterodactyl. I can't. Yeah, that's a great movie in itself. But
Ducky, I like the little Ducky one.
Ducky.
Her little voice,
Oh.
so cute.
So we all know
Sarah
Land-
in the
Yeah.
chat has hit it on the head.
Bartok the Magnificent.
Magnificent.
That's it. Bartok the Magnificent. That was it.
There you
That was a
go.
very funny one. I liked that
Yeah.
one.
We just have some people chiming in saying that Talis says, I have a lot of underrated movies that I love to enjoy watching. I'm just going to share a couple that I've got up on our Instagram here, the Geekazoid Live Instagram. Some suggestions were the Fantastic Four, as in the one that came out in 2005. We also have Dread, the movie that came out in 2012, and also Hook. Hook. Where's the hook? Such a great movie. That's my childhood, to be quite honest. I watched The Goonies for the first time a couple of nights ago, and everyone, my Facebook and Instagram was blowing up. People were like, "How have you never watched The Goonies before?" And the reason why is because I was watching Hook, like Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman. That was my childhood. Bangarang and all that sort of stuff. I love Hook. Just going to share one more. Somebody has also said TMNT. That's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that came out in 2007. That was the CGI one. Anything else you want to add to that, Tay, before we move over to my underrated movie?
No, the only thing I have to say is if you haven't seen Anastasia, I highly recommend it. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely check that out. And it's on Disney Plus, right? So that's you really have no excuse if you have Disney Plus.
No, not at all. But just be prepared to start singing along for just
Oh.
the rest of your life.
Oh, how exciting. All right, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to talk about what I think is the most underrated movie. There is a couple, but I'm going to give this one a special shout out because I don't think it's going to get a mention at all in any other topics that we're going to be talking about in the future. And the movie that I'm talking about is Speed Racer. If you guys have never seen the 2008 movie Speed Racer, which was put together by the creators of the Matrix trilogy, this movie is unreal. And when I first came across this movie, I was just putting it on as a bit of a popcorn movie and all that. And from the get-go, when you see the opening title of the Warner Brothers logo and just the colors and watching it in Blu-ray, and it is such a coloristic delight. The colors are intense. As you can see there, how they've also mashed up live action with CGI as well. A lot of people are like, oh, it's too much. And then we have movies like Avatar that come out, and that movie is full CGI, and it's great. But, after all, this is a cartoon. This is based on an old school anime called Speed Racer as well, and this is like, I guess it's this Americanized, westernized take on it as well. And the Matrix directors, they are massive anime fans, and they grew up watching this, so they said, yep, we'll put our hand up to create a Speed Racer movie. Now, the reason why it didn't really perform so well is because it's not quite a kids movie. It may seem like it's a kids movie because there's a lot of kid sort of like elements in it that kids will love. and it's not quite an adult movie either. But then there's elements in it that it will go over the kid's head, and I'm not talking about like Shrek comedy over the top of the head, but storylines in terms of like, you know, why he needs to race, and you know, because the family the racer family get put in a position where they have to race, and well, Speed has to race, and he wants to find his brother, and all this sort of storyline. If you've watched the original animated series, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And that will definitely go over kids' heads. The kids will love it for the racing, for the colors, and all that sort of stuff, but the storyline is a bit complicated for kids to really understand, and then so it had that going against it as well. But I love it. I don't mind the kiddie stuff because I understand you got to sell merchandise. I get it, but also an interesting tidbit. We just got Jazzy S chiming in here saying that Speed Racer is a good movie and very fast paced throughout. Also, Tao says, I love Speed Racer. I remember collecting a lot of the cars when I was little. Oh, there you go. See, I didn't watch this when it came out in the cinemas. Do you know why I didn't watch this when it came out in the cinemas? Because at the same time, the same month, I believe it was May. I know Fizzman's going to check this up. But during that month, a little indie movie started off this incredible cinematic universe. Iron Man came out the same month as Speed Racer. So, of course, everyone was going... And Iron Man came out like a couple of days before this movie came out as well. So, everyone was going to Iron... No, am I wrong?
Iron Man came out on the 1st of May. Speed Racer
when did Speed
came
Racer?
out on the 12th of June.
June, okay. So then when did another indie movie called The Dark Knight come out? Because Speed Racer was sandwiched in between these two...
16th of July.
Okay, so it was sandwiched in between the movies. Maybe wait, was that in Australia? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But around the same time they came out. Okay, so Iron Man came out, then Speed Racer's in the middle, then The Dark Knight came out. And because Speed Racer is a Warner Bros. Property, Warner Bros. Were all in on The Dark Knight. This was their movie. The hype was around it. Everything with Heath Ledger and the Joker was just circling the internet. It was crazy, and unfortunately, Speed Racer was lost in the shuffle, and it didn't make back what it should have made back in terms of the block, in ticket sales and all that. It actually was a bust, but it's doing the rounds on the aftermarket, whether it's with DVDs or Blu-rays, and I'm sure maybe on streaming service as well. But if you do get the opportunity to watch Speed Racer, I highly recommend it. It's such an enjoyable film. It is a great story from start to finish. It has a stellar cast. It's got John Goodman. It's got Susan Sarandon. It's just got an incredible lineup. Also, oh my goodness, why am I flaking on a name? She plays Wednesday in the Addams Family. Go Fizz, man.
So, The Incredible Hulk and Speed Racer both came out on the same day.
Oh, there you go. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But then in saying that, The Incredible Hulk didn't really have a good outing either, because at the time, Incredible Hulk was owned by, which movie studio was it owned? Because I know that Paramount was owned. This is before Disney took control, like owned everything in terms of Marvel. But I'm pretty sure Paramount had
Universal.
Universal was the Incredible Hulk, and
Universal
Iron Man was Paramount, I think, at the time as well.
Yep.
Thank you. Little Weird Guy has chimed in there. Christina Ricci, she played Trixie in it as well. So, yeah, love Speed Racer. Taylor, have you seen Speed Racer? Is this a film you never...
I was about to chime in and say, I've actually never seen it. As soon as I saw it on the screen, I recognized Emile Hirsch. And another movie that was on my list of underrated films was going to be Lords of Dogtown, which is starring Emile Hirsch, which is all about skateboarding, that, again, one of my comfort movies when I don't really want to watch anything. That's one of my go-tos. So I'm surprised that I never watched it before, but I kind of think now that I've seen this trailer, I actually think I may visit this movie.
Definitely give it the opportunity it deserves. It might, and I hate saying this, like you know how people go, this series, it gets good after the first 2 seasons, so definitely stay with it, right? But with this one, stay with it for at least 20 minutes. Figure out what the world is, what the art style is going to be as well. If you got it on Blu-ray, I'm not sure what streaming service is on at the moment, but Blu-ray, it's just so vivid. The color is incredible. Fizzman's on it. But Fizzman, before you look that up, have you seen Speed Racer before?
I have not seen Speed Racer before, but Tay, you bring up Emil Hirsch. The movie that I know Emil Hirsch from is The Girl Next Door, and
Yes.
yeah. So I thought I was
Also
like,
a good movie.
yeah,
Yes.
that's also a good movie. But yeah.
see-
Speed Racer is not available on any streaming platforms. It is available on Amazon Prime and Apple TV, but you do have to pay
To pay
to
for it.
watch it.
It's interesting that it's not on like a binge because it's Warner Bros, right? But anyway,
Yeah.
if you have the opportunity, I'm sure you can go to a JB Hi-Fi and find it in the discount bin. You could probably pick it up for like $8. But I'm telling you now, it is worth it. Also, the behind-the-scenes content is definitely worth it as well because you see them on the green screens and all that, and they were ahead of their time. I mean, the directors, they did the Matrix trilogy, and they've done some amazing things as well since then. And it's just a shame that we're not going to get a sequel to Speed Racer, which I'm very, very upset about. I've got a Speed Racer pop figure somewhere. Hold on one second. Oh, he's way over there. That's all right. Believe me when I say this. I'm not lying. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. Definitely check out Speed Racer. Before we throw it over to Captain Fizzman's underrated movie, I'm just going to read out a couple more of these ones that I have sitting here on the Instagram stories. Guys, remember, we are live. We've probably got about 10 minutes left of this stream. So if you haven't chimed in yet or left a comment, 100% do that now. If you haven't followed us on our socials, definitely do that as well. Speaking of our socials, on Instagram, this is Geekazoid Live one. We put the question out, most underrated movie. We had some people saying Fern Gully. We had somebody also chime in and say Rad. And Rad's a movie. It looks like it's a BMX movie, which is cool. We had some people saying The Punisher Warzone, Superman Returns. That is a great movie as well, which is filmed in Sydney here in Australia. And also The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's getting a lot of love because of what we've seen with No Way Home. Okay, Captain Fizzman, it is now your turn to share with us.
Finish off the trivia because we have like 9 minutes left.
Sure, if you want to throw it over to your variant, we can.
I'm
very
happy to
much
throw it up to my
do
variant.
that. Do you want to do the honors and
Sure.
send us off? Should I actually, before we do that, I'm going to get some of these answers up. Is that okay? Can I share some of the answers?
That's totally fine.
I mean, we're not sure if they are right or they're wrong. Little Weird Guy says he thinks number 1 is Mario. He also thinks number 2 is Minecraft or Tetris. That's a good shout because Tetris has been made by probably every single company in terms of the gaming world. There's nobody owns Tetris. They can do it however they want, which is really, really interesting. I think you are right about Minecraft, though, being the most popular game. Is that what you said, Fizzman? Could be Fortnite as well. Best-selling game. Could be Fortnite as well. I'm not too sure. And then Tal has chimed in here with his 1, 2, 3 picks. Fizzman, throw it over to your variant. Go for it, buddy.
Do you want to take it away, variant? Sure? Okay, let's go.
Geekazoid.
What is up, everyone? It is Captain Fizzman here, back to give you the answers to this week's trivia. Do you think you got them all? Well, we're about to find out. Okay, question 1. Who came first, Mario or Sonic? Sonic debuted in 1991, however, Mario debuted 10 years prior to this in 1981. So, did you get it? Okay, question 2. What is the name of the best-selling video game of all time? Well, I'm pretty sure most of us have played it at some time in our lives. The answer is Minecraft! And then finally, our final question to finish off this week's trivia. In the most recent gameplay trailer of Hogwarts Legacy, which of the 3 unforgivable curses do we see shown? Well, if you were paying attention earlier in the podcast, you would know that the answer is Crucio, or the Cruciatus Curse. So, let us know how you did. Did you get 3 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, or did you get none at all? Let us know how you did in the comments, and also make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms at Captain Fizzman. Also, make sure to follow Geekazoid on all their social media platforms. Make sure to always tune in 7 p.m. AEST every Thursday night, where you'll see us giving you the latest geeky news. Anyways, that's all from me. Back to you guys in the studio.
Geekazoid.
Captain Fizzman, you did my job for me. I don't even have to spruik the socials. Thank you so much for that.
I just want to point out, with the Minecraft answer, there are 238 million units sold, making it the most best-selling game. I had 238,000 on the screen, but it is 238 million. That was just my bad. It comes to editing.
That's all right. Do you want to hear something? I have never played Minecraft before.
What?
Neither have
Yeah.
I.
Oh, thank you, Tay. Thank you so much. I believe I own it on Wii U. Wii U. Wow, that's considered a retro game now. I own it on Wii U. Yeah. But I've never played it. How about that? Have you guys played it? It doesn't surprise me because I love looking up a lot of gaming history on YouTube, and I have heard that one before. And of course, Mario. Was that back when he was called Jumpman? I think Mario was called Jumpman back in the day. I'm not too sure. And also, here's a little bit of trivia for you, Captain Fizzman. The reason why Mario is named Mario because the creator, he was working in like a shipping dock, and the owner his name was Mario. And then the creator of Mario, he was like, oh, I want a game that's going to be received well over in the Western world. So I want to choose like a real Western name. And he named him after his boss, Mario, which is not a Western name at all. It's an Italian name. So he's an Italian plumber. So there you go. There's a bit of trivia.
Do you want an extra bit of trivia, Jaden?
Please.
Mario's full name is Mario.
Mario. Oh, okay. We have to do our best Mario before we throw it over to you, Captain Fizzman. Here we go. This is my Mario. It's me, Mario. Okay, that was pretty good. Okay, Captain Fizzman, your turn.
It's me, Mario. Let's go.
Oh, extra. You got the catchphrase in there. Sorry, Tay, you didn't realize we were doing this, but we're doing this.
That's okay. I was not prepared. Okay. It's me, Mario.
Oh, that is being spliced up and put onto YouTube and Instagram for sure. All right, Captain Fizzman, take it away, buddy. What is your underrated movie?
Yeah.
Go, choose it.
Underrated film. So I had a lot to decide. I was like, do I go with something like Spice World? But I made a decision. This is absolutely one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite Disney movies. It still is beaten out by Beauty and the Beast because Belle is the superior princess. But the answer, my underrated movie is Atlantis, The Lost Empire. So I absolutely love this so much. I saw it in cinemas. I also saw it when it came out on VHS. And I actually did my research on this. So on Rotten Tomatoes, it got 49% in a tomato meter with 143 reviews, and it has a 54% audio score with 250K plus ratings. It was released in 2001, 2 years after the Disney Renaissance period. So if you're not familiar with the Disney Renaissance, it's a 10-year period, and it featured movies like Tarzan, Hercules, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast. If you're not familiar, it follows Milo Thatch, who is a linguist who joins a fearless group of explorers to find the mysterious lost continent of Atlantis. It was very definitely a change of pace to what viewers were used to in Disney Renaissance, so it wasn't well received by some because it didn't really have the magic that people were accustomed to. However, some reviews on Rotten Tomatoes say it's visually imaginative and even persuasively spirited. It has unusually complex villains and heroes, and some of the plot and dialogue transcends what's typical in movies intended for a broad of youthful audience. It stars Michael J. Fox as Milo Thatch, Corey Burton as Moliere, James Garner as Rourke, and Leonard Nimoy as the Atlantean King. And the story is by Kirk Wise, Gary Trousdale, Bryce Zabel, Jackie Zabel, Tab Murphy, and get this, Joss Whedon. The visuals and animation are amazing. This is at a time when the audience interest in anime films was shifting from hand-drawn animation to more full-on CGI. So where we get into the Marvel superhero films and everything. The chase sequence, however, with the Kataks, which are stonefish in Atlantean technology, and the air battle between man-made machinery and artillery, so machine guns, versus Atlantean technology, which basically the Atlantean technology obliterates Man-made machinery. I absolutely love this so much. If you are a history buff, you will love Atlantis. If you love lore, so they tackled Hercules with Greek mythology. This looks at Atlantean mythology, and the lore behind it is amazing. I absolutely love it, and I definitely recommend it.
I back it as well, 100%.
Have you seen it recently? Does it still does it hold up?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I remember watching it way back when, and I've got to give it another go because I haven't. It's not the sort of movie like, and you mentioned the Disney Renaissance era, and I believe that is going to be a discussion point for Gigazoid in the future as well. Maybe where we can try and figure out like the order of the number one movie in the Renaissance era. And if you're not sure about the Renaissance era, we will talk about it in depth a little bit later on in the life of the show because it is an unreal era and a very important era for Disney. But this came out at the end of the Renaissance era, and
2 years after.
this was also the time where CGI movies were coming out, like Toy Story 2, Shrek,
Yeah.
Monsters Inc. I think came around the same time as this, 2001. So we've gone from training our audiences for 2D, and then they're watching 3D animation, and it's almost going backwards to watch a 2D film. But don't get me wrong, like Atlantis, like you can see in this trailer here, there are some cool, like that water and this ocean, like it was a fusion of like 2D and also like a bit of 3D as well, animation in there as well. But they didn't go full 3D. Yeah, I will definitely have to give this one a better watch. I haven't watched it. I probably watched it in either 2001 or 2002 when it came out on VHS. But Fizzman, am I right? Like, is there reasons why it's not really well like rated, or is it because of the time it was just literally
I believe
lost?
it was because of the time. It definitely was lost. It is like whenever I mention Atlantis, people are like, "Oh my god, I haven't heard that in such a long time." So it's definitely a movie that people have forgotten. I want to bring it back because it's so good, and the cosplays that can come out of it is just I love it so much. I'm a huge fan, and it needs more appreciation. It is underappreciated and it is underrated.
How about you, Tay? What's your take on this movie?
I absolutely agree with Fizzman. It's one of those, it's lost, it's forgotten. Not many people have watched it. And I'm sure even fewer have watched the second one, which is also pretty good. I still can't beat the first one, but I still love it a lot. This was also around a similar time, I'm pretty sure, or to me, I group it together with Treasure Planet as well.
Yeah.
I feel like that's another one that kind of slips through the cracks. It's either the diehard fans, they know it, but the general
So Atlantis came out in 2001, Treasure Planet came out in 2002, and Milo's Return comes out in 2003.
There we go.
Yeah,
I knew
wow.
it was all fairly close together.
Yeah.
But yeah, somehow, even though it was so close together, they just slipped through the cracks, and not many people know them as much as they should, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I think Treasure Planet, the main character, his name escapes me, but I know he was voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So I always get confused with Atlantis and also Treasure Planet. Michael J. Fox voiced Milo, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna have to give it a re-go, and I know
Jim
that
Hawkins is the protagonist in Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
Thank you
Jim.
so much. I actually watched Treasure Planet a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, I think. Maybe during lockdown, I think I watched it again on Disney Plus just to check out what Disney Plus could do. And where was I going with that? Yeah. Oh, sorry. That's what I was going to say. Disney now are doing a lot of live action versions of all their classics, and I know people were toying around with giving Atlantis and also Treasure Planet a bit of a go, and they will. I mean, every movie that gets cast, they always put Tom Holland in it. And
I was about to mention
I have so many gripes with people who cast Tom Holland as Milo Thatch. He does not suit the character. Yes, we may have seen a bit of it as him as Nathan Drake in Uncharted, but no. My perfect fan cast for Milo Thatch is Cole Sprouse. 100% hands out. And Atlantis is the movie that you could turn into a live action.
I think it is too. And it's, I guess, sort of a new IP for a lot of people as well. Like, if people didn't see the first one, they're going to, like, I guess they'll see this one, right? And it could be a Disney Plus exclusive. It doesn't really need to be out in cinemas, but it would be cool that it actually gets, the praise that it deserves. Because what I can remember, it's a great film. I'm gonna watch it again because just looking at that trailer just then, that trailer was only like a minute, and I couldn't find anything longer in terms of a trailer for it, and it doesn't even do it justice. So I'm excited. It's got me excited. Also, Anastasia's got me excited as well. Speed Racer's got me excited as well. I've seen that plenty of times, but I'm going to go away and watch these films. Anything else you want to add to this before we chime off, Tay? Is there anything you want to add to this?
No, I'm very happy with Fizman's choice as well. I feel like I secretly kind of got multiple choices in our trending topics, so I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, great. Fizman, how about yourself? Anything you want to just add to it? And if anybody's in the comments there, we're about to finish very, very soon. Definitely get in your comments so we can share them on the screen before we log off. So, Fizman, anything you want to say just before we finish up?
No, I've said everything I need to say. Definitely go watch Atlantis. It needs you absolute must watch.
Yes.
I can't explain that. I can't argue that even further because it's just it is so good and you need to watch it. It is just the best.
It is the best. It's a great film. I'm going to give it another go around. Just letting you know as well, on Instagram, we asked the question, most underrated movie, and you guys chimed in as well. The Incredible Hulk. We actually mentioned that before in terms of it coming out at the same time as Speed Racer. There you go. I know Abdullah was saying in the chat before as well, Tron Legacy. I'm assuming you're the one that said this on the Instagram as well. Tron Legacy. I love that. It was one of the first 3D films that when 3D was a big thing in cinemas. Somebody also mentioned, I think it was... Little Weird Guy said a film with me in it, and when he shared that with me, I was like, I didn't share that because I was like, a film with you in it, meaning you, Little Weird Guy, in the film. And I didn't write back to it, and then like 6 hours later he's like, no, not me in it, the film is called A Film with Me in It, so I'll have to check that one out as well. There's a couple more in there on our Instagram stories. Definitely check them out. We're going to save that as a sort of like a playlist that if ever you want to look at some movies,
Highlight.
you can go to highlighted it on Instagram. Thank you, Fizman. You can definitely check that out there, and we might do that with a lot of discussion points. Before we sign off, I just want to say thank you so much for everybody tuning in. Thank you if you have subscribed and also following us across all our socials. We are going to be updating our socials frequently and regularly as well, so definitely follow us if you are not following us. Taylor, we didn't mention this before. Your shirt... Geekazoid. That looks unreal. You're very crafty with the cricket machine, and that it looks unreal. And I hope that Dion and Fizman and myself will get one, and we'll rock one out as well. Well done. It's great to see that you're representing Geekazoid as we are plowing through these podcasts that we're doing live for you guys. Tay, where can we follow you on your socials if you don't mind sharing that?
Alrighty, so TikTok, Instagram, Miss Marvelous, so it's Miss Marvel AUS at the end. Be sure to follow us there, and on Geekazoid, of course, across all social media platforms. Definitely check it out. We'll be posting lots of stuff on there, and you'll be able to keep updated with our new discussions and be able to join in on it too.
Beautiful. Make sure you follow her there. And Captain Fizman, where can we follow you on your socials?
You can follow me everywhere at Captain Fizman. So Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, YouTube, Facebook, all of those social media platforms. Even Vero, which I still have. We have a bit of spam comments in our chat.
Of course we do. That means we've made it. Yes. Yes, we've made it.
Mom, I did it.
Yeah. It must do that when the stream goes over like an hour or something like that, because it did that with one of our... Oh, no, but it didn't do it last week. Anyway, no. We'll look into... You know what? It's good for the algorithm. Spam away. You guys aren't on Be Real. Do you know what Be Real is?
I'm on Be Real.
I've heard of it. I'm yet to download it.
Be Real is like you need to stop, drop, and share what you're doing. You have to be real. But it's like...
There's a literal timer that tells you when to be real.
Yeah, but it's random, so it's not consistent. Yeah. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, maybe I'll let you sleep. Maybe it's kind enough to let you sleep. But it could be 6 o'clock in the morning. It could be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock, whatever. But you have to be real, and it's like a self-facing
front and back-facing camera app.
Thank you, Fizman. So you have to literally be real in the moment. And
So
and
it's
it will
going to
tell
catch me 90% of the time just sitting in my Oodie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Do that. That's great. I mean, worse things could happen, but you always like plan for it to be in a cool time, and it never happens. So that's never good.
Unless
but
you
yeah,
post
be
it late.
real.
But
It tells you.
It will tell you if you posted late.
That's right. It tells you like how late you are if you weren't real or not. So yeah. And guys, if you're not doing so already, you can follow me at jrod_HD, basically everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube is Jaden Rodriguez. I haven't uploaded on there for a while. We're on the Geekazoid bandwagon at the moment, so we're going to be uploading a lot of content there. And also, definitely check out Geekazoid Live on Instagram next week, because I'm sure we're going to be sharing some content that Fizzman, Tay, and myself are going to be at, which is very, very exciting. As you noticed, Dion, I didn't mention this before, isn't on the stream, but he sends his best regards and cannot wait to see everybody next week on the stream. I hope you guys had fun. Guys in the chat, thank you so much for keeping us active. We appreciate chatting to you and seeing what's going on as well. Fizzman, Tay, I am excited to see you on Tuesday. What's happening?
See you then.
We'll find out very, very soon. We're going to sign out. Fizzman, do you want to sign out on behalf of Geekazoid? Go for it, buddy.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure to follow Geekazoid on all our social media platforms. And remember, keep geeking out.
Keep geeking out. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Catch ya.
Bye.